Hi, this is James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, here to share this bottle with you today. It's called Viña Mayor. It's a wine from the Ribera de Duero, 2004 vintage. It's a Reserva wine. Turn the back panel around here so you can see that as well. And the very familiar Ribera de Duero authentication stamp or certification that this is a Reserva wine, and the very familiar logo of Ribera de Duero. So this is a wine that a friend just brought by and was just dropping by. And I think that is really such a nice thing. Wow, he could have brought a crianza, but instead he brings this beautiful Reserva wine. And it's just a fantastic wine to bring. I think it's a good, gorgeous wine for food alone. I think to drink alone is fantastically nice. Now, this is a wine that I think is something that's it's comparable often to, or compared to, Rioja. And there are some differences and some commonalities. But there's a unique signature from any wine country. You go east, north, west, south, and you're going to find differences. Now, the Ribera de Duero is south and west of Rioja. Now, they have in common a Tempranillo grape, and they have, they also have the same classification system, or very close to it. Now, this wine is a Reserva, there's a Crianza, there's a Gran Reserva, and all these wines are fantastically, beautifully produced. They are like Rioja. They're released later than probably you find anywhere else in the world. Now, the Ribera de Duero, this wine in particular, is 100% Tempranillo. And in this region, it's mainly a Tempranillo region. Now, you do find some international varietals like Merlot, Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon, and you would not necessarily find that in that quantity in Rioja. You'll find some more indigenous varietals. You'll find the Garnacha, which is also in common with Ribera de Duero, and you find Mazuelo, and you find Graciano in Rioja. The reason I just bring this up is that these two regions often seem to float to the top of the collective imagination when it comes to fine Spanish red wines. Not to say other regions don't produce them, because they obviously do. But these are it's some things that, often pop in someone's head, and my head as well sometimes. So this wine is it's a beautiful display of what Ribera de Duero can do. It has profoundly hot summers. It has very cool evenings, and that's a big difference between the Rioja. So you have a little more of a temperature band that is closer in the Rioja than you do in the Ribera de Duero. You also have very superbly cold winters. So stress on the vine. And stress on the vine is a good thing, because it makes the vine work harder in producing phenomenal fruit. Now, this wine is, it's being that this is a Reserva, this wine has spent at least 3 years in aging, at least 12 months in oak. And I think that's a really, and it's also released after the 1st of October of every year. So it has to fit in with the specifics of the Ribera de Duero wine district. And for me, that's my birthday. Wow. So to enjoy a nice Ribera de Duero is a very fantastically nice thing to enjoy. Now, this wine is a really beautiful wine to enjoy on its own and to enjoy with food. Now, take a little taste of this wine and tell you what it's like. Beautiful notes. What I would term late summer, bright red cherry, strawberry, a little bit of a sesame seed profile, pine nut, and scent of underbrush vanilla and baking pantry. I think it's a beautiful wine, extremely dark, and the quality on this is just fantastic. The acid is just alive. And 2004, this is a release that's coming out, and it's just fantastically nice. Actually, this has probably been released a couple years ago, but it's just one of these things where you're going to find, like Rioja, wines are released much later than anywhere else in the world. Beautiful wine. Gives a 9.2 out of a 10.0 scale. For more reviews, please go to jamesthewineguy.com. Please subscribe to my videos on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and Vimeo. Salud.